I was disappointed when I saw sugar, carrageenan, and dextrose on the ingredient list. Carrageenan is a food emulsifier which can cause GI inflammation in some people, and dextrose is a sneaky code name for sugar.
All right, I already have a few videos on carrageenan, so if you're interested in that ingredient, go check out those videos. In this video, I just want to address when people say things like dextrose is a sneaky code name for sugar. It's not a sneaky code name for sugar. It's just being more specific about what sugar it is. Sugar on an ingredient declaration is referring to sucrose, which is a disaccharide made up of glucose and fructose. Now, dextrose is a monosaccharide, which is essentially just glucose. So it's just being more accurate to say dextrose and not sugar. Yes, it is a sugar, but it's more accurate to call it dextrose. I see this argument so often with things like MSG too, people saying that different things are code names for MSG, when in reality, a lot of foods just naturally have naturally occurring glutamates. So that would be like saying tomatoes listed on a label is just a code name for MSG because it contains naturally occurring glutamates. No, it's just being more accurate about what the ingredient is, whether it's like a yeast extract or whether it is MSG. If MSG is actually added, it has to be listed on the label as MSG or monosodium glutamate. So a lot of these things people are saying are code names or sneaky names for. It's really just being more accurate about what the actual ingredient is on the label. Somebody on one of my recent posts just said something about glucose syrup is just a code name for high fructose corn syrup. It's not. Glucose syrup is just glucose, where high fructose corn syrup is going to be a ratio of fructose and glucose. So again, these things are just being listed more accurately. They are not code names. Now, there definitely are some ingredients that have been marketed, and one of those was the evaporated cane juice thing that was, I don't know, 5 years ago, 8 years ago, I'm not really sure, but that was one where they were trying to get around saying sugar on the label. So yes, this does happen. They can't say evaporated cane juice anymore because it was ruled that it's not juice, so you can't call it that. But yes, that does happen with things like that. I see that a lot more on like the natural organic brands trying to get away from saying sugar or stuff like that. But in the case of saying like dextrose, glucose syrup, those kinds of things, saying different things that have naturally occurring glutamate, it's not a code name for MSG. These things aren't code names. They're just accurately describing the ingredient in the food product. Now, companies absolutely use things like yeast extract instead of MSG because MSG has a very undeserved bad reputation. That also happens, again, more with these natural organic companies because if they want their product to get into Whole Foods, they can't use MSG, but of course they can use these natural sources of glutamate. And that's a topic for another video. I also have a lot of videos on MSG, so go check those out.